looks really easy, but actually it's really, really effective. Okay? So right in this position, okay, so just hands in front of you, okay, onto the bench, okay. So imagine I've done my checks and I've identified tight bits, okay. I'm literally going to do what we call a harmonic movement. Okay? So I'm just going to work forward and try and just build momentum on the client. So actually I'm not really forcing, I'm just using my body weight. Okay, your client might resist it to start off with, only a little bit at the moment, but gradually just get used to it. If they are and they're feeling a bit tight, just move to like the heels of your hands so there's less kind of pressure on it.
See, this is making another good video.
Come on, Tyler, don't laugh, you tense up your erectors when you laugh. Okay, you can then get a little bit of rotation in. Yeah. And yeah, it looks stupidly client can look, but at the end of the day, it's mobilising what you want to mobilise. I don't feel too big, what it looks like. Yeah. Now, okay, you can get your amplitudes a little bit bigger. Tony still resisting. Just put your arms a little bit softer, Tone, so you're not locking them out so much. There you go, that's better. So it's the lockout that the focus less. Okay, I'm just working up. Really nice one to do. With some people who have the capacity to really ease up, you'll be able to go through a huge amount of range within there. Yeah, really a lot of kind of like flexion, extension into that side bending and rotation as you move around. Okay, lie face down from the toe. Okay, so that is your general lumbar one. That's the second one down, I think, on yours. Okay, so the lumbar central and unilateral anterior glide, a fancy word for basically what a lot of you guys will be doing as part of soft tissue mobilisation almost. Okay, so we're basically just getting on the transverse processes, yeah, so the spinous processes, okay, and you're literally just moving it, basically pushing directly down. Okay, so anterior, yeah, towards the front, yeah, so we're just getting on the processes and we're just moving directly. Okay. Something you're probably already doing when you notice resistance, yeah. It's different slightly to soft tissue mobilisation, which would be heel in and then pressure out, yeah. So where you're trying to separate bone from muscle, yeah. So this one, we're literally finding that bony edge. If you want to, you could go in your fingers and just push anteriorly, okay, but the heel of the hand works well because you can get quite a nice surface in it and you can get your body weight behind it, okay. So we're just pressing. Okay, you right with that, Tom? Uh-huh. Everyone happy with that one?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Lumbar soft tissue articulation.
Okay. Yeah. So that's just the extension from the anterior glide to the soft tissue mobilisation. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. There's one I've got in here that I might throw in here. Have you got sacral springing on that?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay, is that the next one down?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Sacral spring, probably my favourite. Okay, sacral, more coccygeal probably more than anything else. Depends like how far down it goes. Heel of your hand. Okay, don't put your hand the wrong way around on this one because that will be a video and a half. Okay, so heel of your hand, fingers pointing up. Okay, moving down to the tail. Okay. Into that position, body weight over, and springing. Okay, hugely beneficial. SI problems, pelvic problems, decongesting, yeah. Okay, that's an area which never ever gets stretched, yeah. You're never ever going to be able to kind of voluntarily do that kind of movement. Yeah? Spends its life getting more and more and more and more congested, okay, just doing that position. Okay, so Tony's actually sort of like the tailbone comes around quite considerably. Okay, so you can move a little bit further down and almost push back on myself on Tony. Okay, some people's remains relatively kind of flat. You know, different people, different kind. don't go investigating it with your finger. Okay, just use the heel of your hand. Keep your fingers in contact. Go down. Just feel it starting to curve around there. Okay, so with Tony, it's more diagonally downwards. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Cool. Whizzing through these. So the next one I've got is sacral traction.
Yep.
Yep. Okay. So this one will be pretty much the same as your down slip. Have you got that on that iliosacral down slip?
Yes.
Okay. Very, very similar. Okay. So your iliosacral down slip. Okay. Traction again from the ankle. But you're just changing the emphasis. So now we're going to bring an element of adduction and internal rotation. Okay. And if you can imagine what that's doing further up the pelvis. Okay. So we're actually opening. Yeah, and then rotating to open even more, and then we're going to traction in that position. Okay, so any resistance in there, okay, we're going to put it under a high amount of tension and then hold it in that position. Yeah, so slight adduction, okay, effectively just bringing it towards the midline. You need to move that one out a little bit, just so you can bring it a little bit across. As much internal rotation as you can get onto it. It is resisted, they will feel it in the SI joint. Yeah, so twisting in, iliosacral down slip. Yeah, sacral traction. Okay. I've also got, what's next on yours?
Iliosacral rotation, anterior posterior.
Okay, so I want you to put in another one on here. Okay, so I want you to add in lumbar side bending and lumbar rotation. Lumbar side bending and lumbar rotation. Okay, so lumbar side bending, effectively what we're doing is, do you remember yesterday when we did the lumbar manipulation and we were adding in elements of flexion and then lateral flexion and then some rotation. Okay, it's difficult to do the flexion one. Okay, but now we're going to have a look at isolating the lateral flexion and the rotation by applying what we call like the finger block. Okay, and just moving in and around this SI joint. Okay, so in order to do the side bending, okay, obviously we're not going to get Tony to do any kind of sort of movements himself. It's all going to be me trying to move it. Okay. So, effectively the movement we're going to get to actually encourage an element of side bending in the lumbar region is just an adduction. Okay? But we're going to apply it with a lock on the same side. Okay? So if you imagine what's happening, as I apply the lock there and move out, yeah, I'm going to open up this facet like that. Yeah? That makes sense?
Yeah.
Okay? So I will have identified on that side an area which needs de-restricting. Yeah, so say it is around there, L2, L3. Okay, I'm coming on the same side, okay, in neutral. Finger block, okay, so it can't come with me, okay, and then I'm actually come out. That's it. Feel alright?
Fine.
And the pressure you're applying is down?
No, it's just against it.
Against.
Yeah, to stop it coming with me, because there'll be a tendency for it just to move with me. Yeah. And again, you just work up as many as you want to. Yeah. Rotationally, okay, we're just going to do internal rotation. Okay, so finger block, same side. Okay, as we do this, tendency to flick. Yeah, to roll over. So block, rotate, and you might have to go quite far. Okay, and that is actually quite tight with toe now. Okay, so I can feel the tension in Tony's muscles there long before I reach the resistance as a result of his glutes. Okay, because it's a duller resistance there because there's a lot of muscles that can kind of compensate. But as we move in, okay, I can feel it. It's not really moving. It's really slowing down. It's really pressing up against my finger, and then the glute muscles kicking in slightly. All right. So you feel different kind of textures. Good, alright, Tom? Alright so far?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. There, we'll stop halfway and I'll let you go through, okay, rather than keeping coming thick and fast. The next one on yours is iliosacral rotation, yeah? Okay, let's do iliosacral rotation because this is quite a nice one, albeit quite difficult. Okay, so, Tone, if you can just step up for me. Yep, okay, so position I want you to get in, okay, it's maybe a little bit low, but we'll do it, okay? I'm going to get you to bend over on the table in that position, okay? I'm going to be lifting one of your legs, okay? So the other one needs to be quite close to the couch, okay? It's a little bit low, okay, but you can work around it. Just want to rest in that position, okay? That's it, perfect, okay? So, straight leg raise, okay? As we do it, I'm going to be pressing down effectively PSIS, okay? Onto the PSIS as we raise, so just under, yep, so you're up against the bone columns, okay? Right? Okay, what I'm actually doing there is actually rotating forward, yeah? So I'm actually slightly moving the pelvis.
So you
try. Yes.
Even pressure on the
Yeah,
PSIS,
both.
and you just oscillate with it.
No, I'm not oscillating, just moving it there, and then once I get up to that bit, yeah, I'm trying to move them both, yeah, so I'm trying to rotate around at you, yeah. The vice versa one of that, okay, and it's very, very difficult to work out if you needed to do one over the other, so you're always going to be using them as a pair, yeah. So the opposite of that is the side lighter. On your left hand side, left hand side, that left hand side, okay. ASIS, okay. Then that moves over, and you need to get onto the shoulder tuberosity with the heel of your hand, okay. So ASIS at the front, ischial tuberosity at the back, okay, and it's that movement, okay, to rotate it backwards this time. Yeah. Okay, so into there. Right. Okay, make sure you get a good grip. Okay, and there's a nominance in there, okay, that can get really congested. Okay, that's what we're really working on there, okay. So, both directions, forward and back rotation, yeah. So, what's it phrased as on there? Is it forward and back or?
Anterior, posterior.
Okay, so anterior, posterior, okay, rotation. Okay, so the first one is anterior, and that one posterior. Okay. So if you've got tilts, okay, this is another example of, okay, whereas there is a tendency on our course, which we're trying to change, but there's a tendency to suggest the only way in which you can affect anterior posterior tilt is myofascially. It's not true, okay? These kind of things can sometimes really help in being able to do it. You know, so really utilise as many skills as you can in order to do it. You know, because if that's congested and that's not moving anywhere, then you can do as much fascial release as you want, but you're never going to balance it. You know? So anterior posterior tilt, get straight onto that. It's probably enough for you to go on with. Yeah? Okay. Let's try and just work through them, yeah, so that we can get the second half of them in, and then if we need to refresh them, we can come back at the end.